Did you get paid
I
for the
got paid
interview?
cash money.
You got paid cash money. Cool.
Yes. Yes.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Sheena Show. I have a guest today. She is one of my students, and she has moved the most quickly that I've ever seen a student move. So this is Melissa. She is from Florida. She was trying to explain what this is to me, and I didn't quite understand it, but an organizational change manager at like a pretty huge company, the company that invented air conditioning, apparently, but loves her job, like high level job, manages like 50,000 people, stuff, but loves her job, but got into calligraphy, got back into calligraphy like 2 months ago and has just like launched a business and discovered, reignited a passion and is doing incredible stuff. And I love her enthusiasm. So this is Melissa. Hello, welcome,
Hello. Thank
Melissa.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So yeah, let's dive right in. Like, how did you even I think you did calligraphy in the past, right? But like how did you get into
I
calligraphy?
got into it because I signed up for a class this spring. I found a period of downtime, I guess you could call it.
Yeah.
Since my daughter was graduating high school, I was thinking about things that I get to do for myself now. So I signed up for a fun class. It was a little pop up and I enjoyed it so much. I bought the same exact class, an extra ticket for my friend for her birthday. So we went together and I did it again. And while I was in the class, I was just remembering how much I like it. It's just so relaxing, kind of. It's relaxing, kind of. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. It's so especially pen and nib, like the time where you
Yes.
actually dip into ink and you can actually feel
Yeah.
it like dragging across the paper and you can
Yes.
see the ink going down. Yeah. It is very
That part
relaxing.
was new. I had not used the pen and nib before,
Okay. So you had
but I
done it a
still
little
have
bit.
it.
Yeah, you
I
yeah, you
had
had
done
done
it.
it a little bit as a kid and then you just
I
kind of
did.
like found it again
Hmm.
as your daughter is leaving for oh, so it's your only daughter, right? And so you're like,
Yes.
okay, I have all this time
All this
coming up.
time now. Yes. And
All
I've done a
right.
lot of things. Like I spent a lot of time on cricketing and other watercolor, just everything. But now
Yeah.
I think this one's the one that's going to stick.
The one that's stuck. Ah, same as me. I explored so many creative things in calligraphy. There's just something about it. So, okay.
Hmm.
So if you had done some calligraphy in the past and you took these two classes and you got really excited, like what made you sign up for the Pro Calligrapher Bundle with
Oh,
us?
so I knew right away that I was going to, after I sat through that second class, I was like, I'm teaching this. Like, I could totally do this. So I was like, okay, what do I need to do to figure out how to get in order, right? I don't know if I can say that, but
Say it's crooked
stuff
calligraphy. You could say it.
get stuff in order. So
Yeah.
I knew, like, I mean, it's just like at work, right? You need your charter, you need your project plan, you need all these things to start. So I just went online and started it one morning and I
Uh-huh.
signed up for the class because I was like, all right, she knows what she's doing. So like the one-on-one class was because I don't think my calligraphy is that good. So I wanted to make sure
Oh,
that I was doing the right things to get better also.
okay. Okay. We can talk about that because I feel like you're making a lot of you're getting very far for your calligraphy not like being that good. And that's just something that so many of my students struggle with is like they feel like their calligraphy has to be perfect or at some super high level in order to start doing anything. Or else I don't know. I mean, people will make fun of them. They won't be like, I don't know
No,
what the actual worry is.
that
Is
is
that the worry?
exactly.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Or like nobody's gonna like it. Or I did those wedding envelopes and she didn't like send them back to me or call me and complain about them or something.
Oh my
But when
God.
you sit and you talk about how you just make everything seem so doable,
Mm,
and you even say that in there, you're like, I want to make it doable, and it is doable. So you just have to have, the confidence
yeah,
to put
yeah.
yourself out there, like you said.
Yeah. Okay, so the Pro Calligrapher bundle is like it's a $997 investment. Did you hesitate at all about putting that much in, or did you know you wanted to do, you said you know you wanted to teach?
Well, I knew I wanted to. I do think it's always good to invest in yourself, even at work, like
Mm,
signing up for different kinds of certifications and things like that in the
yeah.
business world. So it was easy.
What made you want to start a calligraphy business? Like what was that inspiration that told you I really want to teach this, I can do this?
So on top of having all the extra time in my life, eventually one day I don't want to work 40 hours a week for someone else. I want to
Mm,
work for myself. you can kind of see a retirement horizon. So
Mm.
I know now, I mean, I'm definitely going to have to work till she's out of college, but by the time that happens, maybe this will be far enough along that there will be like a balance,
Ah, yeah,
something
yeah,
else to do later. Cause I'm pretty sure my husband's not going to retire. Like he's a workaholic, he'll work forever. I don't want to do that. So I want to have some fun and
yeah,
do some things for myself.
yeah. I love your energy. You're like, I love my job and I want to do this calligraphy thing and
Do
I want
love
to
my
do,
job.
but also I'm looking towards the horizon and like this would be really fun to
Yes.
do
Yes.
as I taper off my job. That's like a really cool way to look to it. So, what have you been doing with your business so far?
So far, I was able to do one wedding. These people had like kind of an emergency situation, so I might have just lucked out on it, but I did get to do their wedding envelopes. And since then, another person had so I was finding people through friends, like they're on neighborhood threads and they're like, oh, somebody's looking for calligraphy. I gave them your name. So I'm like, awesome. It's just like you said, it's the networking, it's the
Yeah.
nothing happens all at once, just like you said. Um, the other things I've been doing is putting out like I have a business card, but I've been writing business cards
Yeah.
tailored to the people that I want to go do things for. For
Oh,
example,
cool.
like we're members of some wine tasting places down here. So I wrote a thing up to give to them to kind of sell, like you do things for your club members all the time. Like, why don't you add calligraphy to your wine tasting and we could see how that goes? Have you ever done that before?
Yeah.
Or writing up another one for brides, like bridesmaids really love creative brunches and just posting those kinds of things. But I am going to go to the bridal show that's coming soon.
Okay.
Yeah, just to see.
Wow.
I don't
No,
know. I don't know what that'll be like, but
but this is fantastic. This I feel like this is so inspirational for everyone who is sitting there thinking, oh, but it's going to take forever and I have to wait until this is perfectly in place and I have to wait until I have the perfect plan. And you're just like, you signed up 2 months ago. You started your business like really shortly afterwards, and you just started immediately kind of making like networking moves. And it
yeah,
sounds like in a pretty natural, not like forced,
yeah,
aggressive way, but hey, friends, I'm doing this thing and getting creative about it. And I'm sure writing the business cards is fun too. And you get to
it
practice your
is fun.
calligraphy.
So I did a free workshop for my friends and family like a while back just to like dry run and see how it would
Yeah.
go and what it would be like. And that was fine. That was fun.
Okay. I love it when people start this way, where like you want to learn how to teach, you want to get better at teaching, teach.
Yeah.
Like get your friends
And
together.
I knew they would come. If it was free, I knew they would come.
Yeah. Yeah, like it's a fun, and then you get to practice the skill of teaching and see what questions come up and you build your
Yeah.
confidence. And
Yeah.
then with that, you can go out and, pitch places like this wine membership or whatever,
Yes.
and you'll feel a lot better about being able to deliver on that. What would you say is your biggest win so far?
Oh,
Just with your calligraphy journey and your business. Yeah.
getting to do it at all. That wedding was
Ah,
a big win for me.
okay.
Yeah, it was a little, even though I said it was relaxing before, it was a little stressful with the envelopes because she was like, I have five extra. And I'm like, five? I have only five chances to get them all right. So that was a little, and I figured, I mean, when I was doing them, I could only do like 10 or 12 at a time and I had to quit. I would get so nervous about the paper or the nib splarting all over the place. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, I can only do like 10 of these and I gotta quit.
Yeah. Well,
Take a break.
it's a lot on your hand too, especially if you're like very tense about it and you only have five
Yes.
extra. Your body is
Extra.
not relaxed at all.
I know.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. But it's not, I mean, yeah. Every time you do your first job, did you get paid
I
for the
got paid
envelope?
cash money.
You got paid cash money. Cool.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, I'm so delighted by you. But that makes it extra stressful. You're like, okay, I'm getting paid. There's five extra. It's kind of a rush. It sounded like a last minute sort of situation.
It was, which was kind of nice because there was one part of me that I was worried that they weren't going to like it, but then they were in such a desperate time, like I think they would have liked anything. So like it was pretty good balance for the
Yeah,
first run.
yeah. That's very cool. And I love that you just dove in and said, "Yep, yep, I'll do it." I learned calligraphy literally like a month ago, but I'm going to tackle this.
Yeah,
Amazing. Okay. And what are you looking forward to in your business? Like, where do you see it kind of going and growing?
I definitely want to do more. I mean, uh, now that I don't have all of the commitments with, travel sports and all those things, I have a lot of time. So
Yeah.
I just want to do more. It's a creative outlet, like you
Yeah.
described on one of your podcasts or one of the classes or something.
Hmm.
It takes me to a nice, happy place.
Yeah. Did you ever
So,
think you were going to do like a creative business?
no, actually, we talked about other kinds of things like Airbnbs and just other things that you could retire but still have income.
Hmm.
So, this just turned out to be a lucky, I don't know, all the stars aligned, I guess.
Yeah. So do you think you're going to kind of focus? You said you want to do birthday parties,
I do want to do birthday parties.
and that's kind of more in the event space, but you
Yeah,
want to teach. So is that kind of where you see your business going?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
Because down here, I did look up the competition. There's a few other calligraphers down here, and they do some really nice work. Like Palm Beach has really fancy weddings, and
Uh,
there's some very talented calligraphers here that I just can't even compete with them. So uh, I definitely want to stay in my lane. I don't think that they're out there trying to teach. They
okay.
are like engraving on bottles and doing things like I've seen on your Instagram
Yeah.
site. Things like that I
Yeah.
don't do. So
Okay. That's an interesting point. I mean, there is like people, I get this question all the time from people, when I talk about starting a calligraphy business of like, isn't there a ton of competition out there? Isn't the market saturated? And like, I don't think the market is saturated. I think there's always room for more. And the reality is there is competition, and there's more competition probably now than there was like 20 years ago, maybe before calligraphy, kind of got a little bit more popular and there were online
mhm,
courses available, right?
yeah,
And at the same time, like there are different lanes. That's why I say that there's room. You're
there's
doing,
room. There's
yeah,
room.
like there's different styles of calligraphy. There's different
Yes.
markets for all the different kind of levels. Who knows?
Yeah.
By the time you're 2 months in to learning calligraphy is wild to me. But maybe in 2 years,
Yeah.
your calligraphy will be at a level where you're like, hey, I kind of want to go for some of those weddings. And who knows what's going to happen at that time?
Yeah.
People get into it, people get out of it, people scale back, people lives
I
change,
do.
people move.
Everything is on like everything's on a cycle, right?
Yeah.
Because right now everything is very computery and AI, and pretty soon people are going to be like, "There's no human touch on this," and then they're going
Hmm.
to come back and they're going to need us more than ever,
I think so.
right? I
I
think so
actually
too.
think, and I think it's going to be calligraphy that really has a human hand to it and does not look like it could be confused for a
Oh, so
computer
the
font.
the wedding thing that I did, this is interesting because the mother-in-law said she wanted the addresses to be printed on the envelope. Okay. So whatever they couldn't figure out the website, lucky for me. So I got them, but on her typed out list, there were typos that the computer wouldn't have known. So
Yeah.
somebody's name had an accent in the wrong place. And then there was another one that was a Florida address and it had a New England zip code. And I knew it wasn't Florida, but the computer wouldn't know that. So those
Oh,
kinds of things don't work in AI world. You know what I mean?
yeah. Oh,
I've
that's
seen
such an
them.
interesting point. I don't think anyone's ever brought that up on the podcast, but it's so true. The value of having your envelopes calligraphied is not
Yeah.
just the beautiful result, it's that extra human,
Analyzing.
yeah, going like, hey, is this right? Let me double check this. And
Yep.
just
Yep.
that it all goes into the human touch that gets put
Yep.
on those. And people can tell when they
Exactly.
get those in the mail and it just
Yep.
feels a little bit different and kind of sets the tone for your wedding. Oh, that's a really cool
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
Okay. You got to put that in your marketing in the future. That's
Oh,
good.
I don't know where to put it. Like I've seen enough things break down at work where I'm like, oh, the computer just does what it does. It doesn't
Right.
think
Well,
past.
you have
Yeah.
my calligraphy business starter guide course in your bundle. So you will learn
Yes.
more about marketing as you go through that. For sure. And as
Yes.
you do your
Yeah,
business. Okay, so speaking of that, would you say that those courses were worth the investment? Would you recommend them to others?
absolutely. Absolutely. And for anybody, it's always worth investing in yourself.
Hmm.
Always.
Can you tell me a little bit more about how you've been using the courses for just your calligraphy and your business?
So I feel like I did a whole bunch in the beginning and I took a break after the bouncies because I was like, because that's what's popular right now. That's what people love, the bouncy.
Yeah.
It's the modern
Yeah.
calligraphy. So the last I put that down and I went over to the business one just
Uh-huh.
to make sure, like I was saying, all of the things were in line, like setting up LLC, setting up the website, setting up all the different things. Find me
Yeah.
on Yelp, look at me on Google, whatever, the Etsy shop. So those were the things that I've been doing since
Okay.
July
Yeah.
or during July, I
Yeah.
guess.
Wow. I mean, that just goes to you. There is so you've so much growth in front of you. It's very exciting. Like you've been able to do this with just you went through the 101 course, you looked at some of the business stuff to just kind of help you with the logistics and getting stuff in order. You still got a whole 201 intermediate course in there waiting for you.
Yeah.
You got
Oh,
to
I
revisit the
started.
bounds.
Yeah, yeah. There
So,
was another one. I don't remember which one it is where you were kind of like teaching people how to do their own alphabet.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's 201.
So then I was like, I don't know if I because I like the very rigid.
Yes. No.
Yeah.
And this is the
We'll
cool
see.
part. Like you have lifetime access. So not everybody
Yes.
takes the 101, 201 business path. Some people are like, okay, I got the basics. I like the
Just
basics. I'm going to stick with that.
yeah. And
And then
pick the
maybe,
ones. Yeah.
yeah. And then maybe in a year, you might be like, maybe I want to change up my calligraphy a little bit, add a little
Yeah.
something. And you go right back into 201 and you figure out how
Yeah.
to make your own alphabet. That's the beauty
Yes.
of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Very cool. Well, what would you, okay, best advice if somebody is kind of watching this or listening to this and thinking, oh, okay, I really wish I could do that. Like Melissa, she seems to have just moved so fast. She just seems like you just seem confident. You just seem like, you know what, I'm just gonna do it. And if it doesn't work out, I'll figure things out on the way and I'll do things for free and I'll just, I'll take the jobs that come. And so like what's your best advice for someone?
Well, it's easier because I do have full-time work. It's not
Mm,
that I'm relying on my wedding money to
yeah,
make my pay my bills.
yeah,
So for me, it's fun. It's still fun. It's a hobby, but more than a hobby now.
yeah,
So what I would say to people is just go for it. Cause like, what have you got to lose?
yeah.
Nobody's going to pick you. Okay. Well, in like 2 years, when AI goes off the rails, they're going to come back and they're going to pick us.
Yeah. Okay, I mean, there's a lot there. Yes, I fully agree with you. If someone is, and I actually don't recommend this, I don't recommend that someone just quit their job entirely without, in the very beginnings of learning
Oh, yeah.
calligraphy and just, want to figure it out on the way. I know some people they're in a situation where they really want calligraphy to work and make a living for them. And let's be real, like that does for sure put an extra stress on
Hmm.
things. Like when I started my calligraphy business, I had two other part-time jobs that were much more stable because I knew that it would take a while to build up, a creative business like this and have it
Hmm.
generate consistent revenue. So you kind of have to like do what you have to do. But yes, that is a very good point. But like I think more importantly, I think there's a lot of people out there, even if they want to do it as a side hustle, as just like a side business, they still feel really just, what if people don't like it? What if I fail? What if nobody buys it? And that's when you're like, keep it fun
Yes.
advice, I think is
Yeah.
really important. Just like the what do you have to really, what do you have to lose? Even if people laugh
You have
at
to
you behind your
lose.
back,
Yeah.
they're gonna laugh at you for like 2 minutes and then they'll go about
So,
their life.
yeah.
Right?
Somebody's laughing somewhere about something else about me behind my back. Like, I don't know.
It's more about the person laughing, right? What they choose to make fun of
Yeah.
or whatever. Anyway, so okay,
It's
good.
always
You did.
good. Okay. It's
Yes,
always
you
good to
did. You
invest in
did.
yourself, no matter
Yeah.
what.
Yeah.
No
Yeah.
matter what.
Yeah.
Because you never
Um,
know what tomorrow's gonna why wait? You know?
yeah, you do never know what tomorrow's gonna bring. I'm glad you're having fun with it.
Oh yeah, I
Melissa,
love
I
it.
love your enthusiasm inside our student group. She's always posting like, got my workshop coming. I've got like this coming. I don't know. It just like brings a cool energy. And I know everyone who's listening out there, like you, Melissa is a bit of a gem and that she's just like gone for it. But I hope you see that it is possible. And if you do just go for it, like things happen. And I'm really excited to see like what continues to happen for your business in the future.
Thank you.
Yeah. So thank you so much for coming on, sharing your story. Everybody, you can find Melissa at calligraphybymel.com. So all one word, calligraphybymel.com, or your Instagram, because Melissa said calligraphy by Mel, Instagram was taken. So
Yeah.
so you are my fancy scribbles on Instagram.
Yes.
Okay. Very excited to see what comes up for you in the future. Thank you, Melissa.
Thank you.